Yo, what is up you guys, and welcome back to another video. And in this video I'm showing you how to run Snapchat ads in 2021. These are all updated strategies, so make sure you guys sit tight. In this one, we're covering a proven system to launching Snapchat ads, and if done correctly with the proper video ads and creatives, you'll be able to really scale your brand for the long term. So what we're going to do now is jump into my computer. You're going to see my Snapchat ads dashboard. We're going to go through exactly how to launch a proper campaign. Lots of things have changed in 2021. My last few Snapchat ads videos are from 2020. Wanted to make an updated video to cover the exact strategies that we're going to be using. Make sure you guys drop a like if you get any kind of value out of this video, and drop a comment if you have questions along the way. Let's jump into my computer right now. All right guys, so as you guys can see, we're currently in my computer, and as you can see, this is a new Snapchat ads advertising account. So I'm going to go through a little bit of what Snapchat ads is like and how you guys can navigate through. The first thing I want to do is go to this drop down menu. So here we're going to be able to create ads if you're creating a new campaign, or we can manage our current ads that we have, but since we're launching a fresh campaign from scratch, we're not going to be able to manage ads. Also here, we're going to have the Snap Pixel. The Snap Pixel is going to analyze all the data that we're collecting. So we're going to be able to see who's adding to cart, who's initiating checkouts, and which ad sets are doing that. But for right now, we're going to create ads because I want to go through exactly what kind of campaign we're going to be launching. You're probably wondering, well, how are we going to get traffic to the store, and how are we going to maintain and be able to judge these different ad sets that are running? Going to go through that in a couple seconds. First thing I want to say is always do advanced create. We don't want to do instant create because advanced create gives us a little more room to do specific targeting. With instant create, they're kind of just giving a general targeting. We don't want to really do that. So do advanced create. Once you guys have done that, we're going to be able to select an objective for our campaign. I usually select website conversions because we want to get sales on a Shopify store since we're doing Shopify Dropshipping. If you guys don't know, Shopify Dropshipping is when we get a product for a cheaper price, we sell it for more, and the way that we get customers and traffic to our store is just by running Snapchat ads. So we're going to do website conversions. You guys can scroll down and name the campaign. Usually I just name it batch number 1. Okay, since this is our first campaign. And if you were targeting specific things, you can include those things in the campaign name, but we're just gonna name it batch 1 for now. After you do that, you can also set up a start and end time. I usually just launch the ads immediately right away. I don't schedule a certain time to launch them, just because if there are changes that need to be made with the ad video itself, we can go ahead and make those changes. So the next thing I wanna do now is come down to where it says ad sets. Now an ad set is going to be able to target a specific audience, and what we want to do for this is just start really basic. So what you can do, I usually target the United States, so we're going to put US. Okay, we're going to do all, and we're going to do 18 through 65. Okay, now obviously we're also going to put in an interest, but for right now I'm just going to leave it open because I don't know what interest we're going to target. But let's say we're testing some kind of fitness related product, we're going to be most likely testing some kind of fitness related interests. So you guys can come down through here. You guys can see that it's going to allow us to select what kind of ad format you want to do, single image or video, because we're going to be using a video ad to launch. If you guys don't have a video ad for your product or your store, Ecom Videos does a great job of using text overlays and also using clips of people using the product, any product that's on AliExpress, and they make extremely great videos, and their click-through rate is really high for me. I use their services myself, so I definitely recommend that if you're having trouble making your video ad and you want to outsource it. Next thing you guys want to do is just do automatic placements for now because we don't know where the ad is going to perform best. You can also do locations as United States. Right now, I'm just going to be doing United States just because I have a US-based supplier. So I'm going to be getting 7 to 13 day shipping in the US. But if you're shipping to countries around the world, you could select all those countries. You could also do the top tier 4 countries, which are just US, Australia, Canada, UK. So you feel free to test those if you'd like. I'm going to do 18 through 50 plus just because, like I said, you want to keep things kind of broad. You don't really know your age demographic that's going to work the best. And for genders, we can do just all for now, unless there's a specific gender that always performs better. So let's say we were selling some kind of cosmetic beauty product, we'd most likely just target females. But I encourage you guys to leave it open and broad just to see what the options are. Next thing I want to go over are just the languages. Okay, so I usually select English because my video ad and the ad copy are going to be based in English. So you guys can select that. And as we come down, this is where we can select our interest or the audience. So like I said to you guys, if we're doing a fitness related product, you would just come over here. You could type in gym, okay? You guys can see gym and fitness club shoppers is an option. So what we can do is just copy this. And we're going to turn off expand audiences automatically. That's going to expand the audience size. But in the beginning, we don't really want to do that. We want to just test each individual interest. So I'd recommend turning that off. I've noticed a better result with turning it off. And you can see I just put the interest name at the top of the ad set so that we know what the ad set is and what interest that we're testing. As you come down past, you can also do certain devices. So if you want to only advertise on Android or iOS, you can do that. I'm going to select both for this example. We're going to come down through here, and this is the delivery, so we can actually set a different budget. Usually I would say start out with a $10 per day budget per ad set. So the ad set's going to spend $10 every single day. Now, what I like to do is let each ad set spend our profit margin. So if our profit margin is $15 or $20, I'll let the ad set spend that to make the decision on whether to kill or scale the ad set. So I'd recommend just setting your budget at $10 to begin with. You can have, 5 to 7 ad sets, each spending $10 per day. That's going to add up to like $50 or $70 per day in ad spend. You can also set it at $5, but it really doesn't matter. It's just a matter of how fast you want to acquire the data. So if you set it at $20, it's going to spend $20 in a day, but you'd still be cutting it off when it spends that profit margin. So it's up to your preference, but I'd say start with 10 so you have some time to analyze the data properly. Next thing we want to do is go to this goal. So in the beginning, when Snapchat first came out, you could only target swipe ups and page views, but now Snapchat is getting a better sense of who their audiences are. So now we can actually optimize for pixel purchase. You always want to optimize for pixel purchase because our goal, our end result is to get that sale on our store. So it's important to do pixel purchase for that reason. All right, so you guys can test out auto bid or you can do target cost. For this example, I'm going to do auto bid. But in the case of target cost, you'd be setting your target cost at whatever your profit margin is, and you could do plus or minus 5 of that. So let's say our profit margin was $15. You could set your target cost of anywhere from 10 to 15. I would try testing that as well to see which is going to perform best on your ad account. Now, for me, for my campaigns, for my ad sets on my ad account itself, auto bid might work better or target cost might work better. You have to give it a try and see what's working the best, and then you have to double down on what's working. So I recommend just going with auto bid if you're new to this, but if you want to go with target cost and test it out, you can do that as well. So that's pretty much the targeting for this one ad set. Now, what we would do after this is just duplicate this ad set. So I'm gonna hit duplicate. And as you guys can see, we're gonna have multiple ad sets with the same targeting. Now, what you would do is go back into each of these new ad sets, right? We would delete the copy of US. We would also delete the interest, and then we would put in a new interest. So we would come down to where we selected this interest, we would get rid of it, right? And then you can select a new interest here. So let's say, for example, I want to do yoga, okay? Because if we're doing some kind of fitness related product, we could click yoga enthusiast, right? And so we're just going to take this, we're going to copy it and just do the same exact thing we did the first time. We'll put it up here. And now we can see that each ad set will be targeting a different interest. You'll have a couple different ad sets, right? And that's pretty much the gist of testing. So now you guys can test out 10 ad sets. I normally start with 10 ad sets spending $10 per day so I can see which ones get a good result. Usually out of about testing 10 ad sets with cold interest, which is what we're targeting. Right now, we're just targeting these interests. We're not working off of warm data. Warm data is just people who have seen our website or our video. In the beginning, we're just targeting cold interest because we haven't acquired any data yet. So I would say out of 10 ad sets that you test, you might get 2 or 3 that perform well. Sometimes on products that perform even better, you'll get 4 or 5 to work out of the 10. But normally I'll see 2 ad sets or 3 ad sets working out of 10 that you test. So just try to keep that in mind when you're testing. Don't be afraid to test more than 10 interests. You're most likely going to have to do that because you want to find as many working ad sets as possible. And what I like to do is start to increase the budgets of ones that are working by 25% every time they spend the profit margin and make you that sale. You can start to increase the budget of the ad set that's working by 25%. So let's say we have the ad set set at $10. We see that it's working. It's acquiring us sales. It's made more than 2 or 3 sales. You might want to start to increase the budget of the ad set. So you'd go into the ad set, you'd edit it, you change the budget from 10 to $12.50. And so that's increasing by 25% every single time. Then you'd increase $12.50 by 25%, and you can just keep doing this. An easy way to do that is just to take the number. So let's say $10, you'd multiply it by 0.25, and then you would add that number to the 10, and then that would be 25%. So hopefully that makes sense. The next thing we want to do is go into ads. So this is where we can actually upload our video creative. Once you guys have a video made for your product or whatever you're selling, this is how we're going to be able to advertise that. So you can name the ad. You could just name it ad 1. I also like to create 2 video ads. So I test 2 video ads with each ad set, and you're going to see that here. You can name the second ad 2. And maybe for this second video that you test, you have a different first 5 seconds. And this is a good way to split test things to see which video is going to perform the best. And then you can double down on that later on. So we'll go back to ad 1 here. The brand name we could add is just, let's say, yoga resistance bands. Okay. The headline could be limited supply available. And then we would hit upload. You can also create a Snapchat video ad right on Snapchat, but I recommend outsourcing it because you want to have the highest quality video that you possibly can. Snapchat does have some good templates, as you guys can see here. Click create. you can see some of the templates that they provide. And this will just let you import your video and put your your logo over things. You can use First Impressions. That's a pretty good template. I would recommend using that. But like I said to you guys, if you really do want to get results, I would recommend outsourcing your video creative. As you guys come down, you can also see that we're gonna have to do a call to action. So for this, I usually just do shop now. And then for your website URL, you want to be driving traffic to your product page on your website. So not your home page, not a collection page. Go to the product page where you're selling the product, okay? That's the URL you want to use. The reason why we're using that URL is because we want to be able to track when people add it to cart, when people initiate checkout with that product, so that we can work with the data and move from there. So after you guys have done that, you've put in your interest, you've put in your video ad, you've also made your headline and those kinds of things. You can see that it's going to run on the following ad sets. So each ad set will have the 2 videos attached. I'm going to throw up a picture of what this looks like with the campaign, the ad sets, and then each of the videos attached to each of those ad sets. And so the ad sets will funnel the budget down to the video that's performing the best. And this is why I recommend testing multiple videos. Like I said to you guys, if you test more videos, they might resonate well with different audiences that you're targeting. So you could create, 2 different campaigns, have 5 to 10 ad sets in each of those campaigns, and then test 2 different variations of videos for each of those ad sets. And then in the other campaign, you could have another 2 variations of videos for those ad sets, and you'd be testing 4 variations overall. So you could be testing a lot of different videos, and I think this is the best way to get results in the beginning. As you start to scale day in and day out, what you can do is start to kill ad sets, like I told you, that don't have any add to carts, initiate checkouts. They've spent your profit margin. Those are some types of ad sets that you might want to kill. Now, if an ad set is performing extremely well and you see that it's getting a low cost per purchase, it's getting you that sale within a relatively good spend, that's a good sign that you might want to duplicate the ad set and increase the budget, or just increase the ad set level budget right away. So those are things that you should definitely keep in mind when you're launching your first Snapchat ads campaign. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to make it as thorough as possible with the updated strategies. Like I said to you guys in the other videos, it was a little bit harder to advertise with Snapchat because they didn't have enough data for the pixel purchase conversion, but now that you have that, it's definitely lowered the barrier of entry. So a lot of you guys who are out there running Facebook ads are having problems with Facebook or Google. Snapchat is a great alternative, but what I will say is 65% of Snapchat's users are women, so take that into consideration when you're selling products on here. Beauty products, fitness products tend to do really well, so I'd suggest doing those for running Snapchat. And if you guys have any questions, like I said to you guys, drop a comment down below. More than willing to answer anything that you guys ask me, and make sure you just drop a like on the video, guys. It really helps out the channel. I've been seeing some awesome growth. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm really hyped out for that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you very soon, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.